Welcome to the playlist of internal security. Okay, this time we start the topic of the internal security with the political spectrum, that is a scale of measurement whether the party is a leftist, whether a party is a rightist or is a centralist. In India, what kind of political spectrum we can see, what are the political spectrum present in India, how the North insurgency operations happened, or what are the things related to all the Maoist and all, we will see in this series. So first we will tackle the political spectrum lecture. Moving forward, see, in the political spectrum you can see that we have one center and one right side and one left side. So left side will be termed you as leftist and right side will be termed you as rightist. Okay, but into that also there is something more, that if you move ahead to the left and if you move ahead to the right, you will get leftist, extreme leftist and extreme rightist. Okay, that is something not accepted by any democratic country. So we will see all these aspects, and if anything is extreme, like if anything is extreme is added, it is not accepted. Like even if you are eating food, like eating vegetables is very good, but eating too much vegetable is not accepted. It is not good for health. Similarly, drinking water is good for health, but if you drink lots of water, more than 7 liters, you are drinking 14 liters of water and all, then what will happen? It is not good for your health. It will have another issue. Your whole body will be swelled. Okay, that are the drawbacks of anything having extreme one. So that thing we will see in this political spectrum. That current political center political ideology. First we will see that basic, like you will understand basic term, like it is center means what? Your left one is also balanced and right one is also balanced. Center means middle one. It means there is no effect of neither center nor rightist. So it means what? That it stands for like modern liberal values, that is central political ideology. Like everyone tries to be as a center to central political to follow the central political ideology, but inside they may be rightist, they may be leftist in the real world scenario. Okay, so it tries to find that center one, it tries to find balance between the left and the right wing. Okay, by the name only we can guess what it's trying to do. So it tries to maintain balance between the left and the right one. So example of this party you will find in the Canada, which is present in your North America. So you will find most of the parties of the Canada are central one. Okay, now the right wing party, this side, right wing is generally considered conservative, and it will be dependent on the regional and traditions, that they want to maintain their religions and traditions. They don't want to change. Like if you see BJP is like your Bhagwa party. Like they used to follow orange, like that is the symbol of Hinduism and all. Okay, so that is the main issue. Like if something is extreme is going on, then it is bad. Like yes, you want to follow religion and tradition, it is good, but if something is going extreme one, then it is bad. We will go in that aspect also, but right now just understand that the right wing party will be focused on the conservative type of thinking. They will focus on religions, traditions and all, and they do not want change. They do not want changing anything very rapidly or very efficiently. Like they don't want to change anything. Like they want, like our older generation was good, not the present one. You heard many of time that people used to say that older movie cinemas were good, current movie cinemas are not good. So that is what they are saying, that they want previous one. They don't want current one that is going on. They don't want change. Okay, so that is the thing of the right wing party. So they generally prefer the status quo. They don't want change. That was as the religions is going on, they want to do in the same manner. Like it is like we can't say, like if you want to write an answer in exam, we can't say like directly that they don't want change. They say like yes, we will change, but in coming future we will see it. Right now just make it work as it is going on. This is the main thing said by the right wing. This is the main ideology, that the way of thinking is like that. Right? Yes, we will change in the coming days, we will change, but right now as it is going, just keep it going like this only. Okay, I think you understand it better. So these outfits generally represent the majority religion or race, sex, caste and all. They are generally designed to promote status quo and resist for social change. Resist means they don't want change or changing of the society. So if you see in India, you will find it like BJP and USA, Republican Party of USA, then RSS and all. Okay, now if you see moving towards right one, so they will focus on technological like aspects, scientific values. So they are more prone to change anything. Like if something is coming in development, so they will see like move ahead with this topic, with this concept. Like if there is something in modern one, if you are following like if we are getting touch screen mobile phone, they will say okay, now we will use touch screen mobile phones. Now we won't use button based smartphones. That is what they based on the technology. They are moving ahead as the scientific values. So and they want equal aspects of the society. Egalitarian acquire higher significance, and the left wing are admired by the value and the principle of socialism. So socialism preferred by the right wing. See what is saying here, the left wing are admired by the values and the principle of socialism. Like for the society they want industrialization kind of things they want. Okay, as the things are aspects, as the development is going on, they want those things. We will see the difference between the right wing and left wing in the more clear way in the coming session, in this video only. Okay, so as a result of left wing party promote that social change, and they resist a status quo which is preferred by the right wing's party. Like right wing party don't want change, they want changes. Okay, and they want significant, like they want immediate changes. Like this, if they think that this is not going right, then they will say that just change it. They don't wait for the coming days. So similarly, you can find the parties in India like a AAP party, then pressure group of organization which fight for the environment and tribal community can be labeled as a left wing also. That those organizations that are fighting for them, that they want changing, they want tribal communities to be settled as per the scenario. They don't want modern things to be interrupted within their community. So and other things you will find the left, you have checked center, right and left. Now you will see left of center and right of center. So by the name only you can think that it is something like that is creating balance between the center and the left one. Similarly, right of center will be like it is creating balance between your center and the right one. This thing is accepted. Okay, this thing we can accept in our democracy. Okay, these all are accepted in democracy, but I'm just giving aspects like which are more acceptable by the society. So left of center, it is a combination of left wing principles and centralist principles. That is your Congress, then Democrats parties and all others one, like in other countries also. Okay, so left of center, like it is like balance between the centralist and the left wing party. They want technology changes and all, as per the science they will move on and all. Then right of center, it is a combination of centralist and right wing ideologies. Like they want religion should be there, Ram Mandir should be built, and we can't change our religion, we should be follow the religion. And they may choose some ideology of left also, but this is the actual definition of right of center. That is a combination of centralist and right wing ideology. It is just a mixing of center and right thing, and the left of center is the just mixing of center and left one. Okay, so I hope you understand it better. So that's why you will heard in many times in the news that this is a leftist party, he is a rightist party. Then what do you understand that leftist and rightist? This is the thing that I've explained it here. Okay, now we will see how this spectrum, which spectrum is not accepted in democracy. Okay, so if something is going extreme, even that I have explained, that if you are drinking lots of water or if you are taking lots of green vegetables, then it is not accepted by your body. In the same manner, if you are going extreme rightist, if you are going extreme leftist, then it is not accepted by the society. Okay, so what is extreme rightist, what is extreme leftist, and these kind of things give an insurgency of give a birth of in India. Like if you see Naxalism and all, we will see in the coming session. So extreme right wing, that it is considered as a reactionary ideology. It is completely it gives reaction immediately. If you said, why you have said that anything about my religion, who are you, that these kind of reactions, that reactionary ideology, that is extreme right wing. It leads to the formation of dictatorship of autocratic. Right-wing extremism is generally influenced by religious or racial fundamentalism. That is example, if you see that Nazi party of Germany, which openly advocated of fascism, they want to move ahead only their religion. In India also recently we can see that the current ruling party of the BJP, that most of the leaders are coming ahead and forwarding that Hinduism in the society. These type of thoughts, I'm not saying this is an ideology of BJP, but some leaders have this kind of thinking, that making this kind of thing make a dictatorship kind of thinking, autocratic rule. That is something extreme rule, extreme wing, which is not accepted in a democracy. Okay, which is completely not, that is in anyhow it is not accepted by democracy. If you are promoting any particular decision, or you are give very reactionary aspect with your religions, okay, they consider like Germany, for that Nazi party, they consider Jews as an inferior race. They do not hesitate to use violence for their dominance. Like if you say ex leader party of BJP had said, like if you Ram Mandir will not build, then they have become violence against them if you have said anything about them. This you can't say anything about their religions and all. If you, for any Muslim party also, like if there is a Muslim agenda, if you said something, they will become violent. These kind of things are what is extreme rightist. Another concept of white supremacy, which considered white color race are superior. Recently in America, Dr. George Floyd was killed by a police member. He was a black color, and police has kneeled down and kept his knee on his shoulder, and because of suffocation he died. And this led to lots of highly revolution. Lots of people came on the road in the favor of black people. So these kind of thinking, if you are killing, if you are not accepting black people, these kind of that race color discrimination is what this extremist thinking. That another concept of white supremacy is considered white color race as superior. So radical Hinduism, radical Buddhism, radical Christianity, etc. It is not radical, logical kind of things. You have to be mixed up. You can't say like my religion is good, or you can't say that fair people are good. No, you have to be centralist. But the extreme rightist is thinking like that way only. So it is not limited to a particular religion, because none of the religion promote violence, but still we find in all the religions in these things. Like if you see, actually in reality none of the religion promote violence, but then also without understanding its basic rule, without understanding its base, people just go against it and use violence, and saying that we are protecting our religion. How you are protecting our religion where you are using violence, where your religion says that you can't use violence? Violence is not the solution. That is something from the aspect of extreme right wing. Okay, now we will see extreme left wing. It is something called radical ideology, which leads to the dictatorship and anarchy, and it is influenced by the radical version of communism. Okay, so this also forms of a dictatorship and ideology, the dictatorship and autocracy kind of thing. But here your logical thinking is the main important. Like every time you are thinking logically, that if you say, let us give an example, that if you say that Hinduism is nothing more, Muslim is nothing here, these are just a creation of human being only, we all are human and we have to be survived like that. See, this kind of thing is very good. Okay, this is accepted, but you have to accept the reality, because there is division in the society and you have to take it over. If you are completely started to think radical manner, if you are completely started in the logical manner, it may happen that these kind of things, that right people kind of things may go against you. So you have to maintain balance between them. So these kind of, if there is extremist thinking, they will completely deny those parts, and this may lead to violence, because people don't understand that religion does not promote violence, and because of that, in the sake of protecting their religion, they use violence in the rightist wing. So you have to make radical ideology, but it should not be extreme one. So the best example of extreme leftist is the Maoist outfits, which raised the arms struggle against the government of Nepal and China in the past. What is Maoist, how they emerge? I have a separate lecture for it. Okay, just take this as an example right now. Naxal group in India, raising voice against the Indian government. They label their arms struggle as people's war against the state. What is that? What is their point of fighting against the government? See, Naxal people, how they emerged, it is like that government deprived some people, where their rights, they are not giving jobs and opportunities and all. After that, these people realize that if the government is not doing, then we will raise arm against it. See, their concept is logically correct, like government is not giving proper attention to their local peoples, or to them. They are not constructing roads, they are not putting attention for the development of the religion. These are correct, okay, but that extreme leftist things made them to raise arms against the government. There may be another solution for it. They can go to approach government, they can accept the legal methods, but they don't took that step, and they started to raise arms against the government. This kind of thinking is called extreme leftist. Yes, they are logically they are correct, but the action they are taking is not correct. So they try to snatch the power of ruling state and democracy. They believe that democracy government is responsible for their suffering, and they work closely with the farmers, peasants, traders and laborers, and try to brainwash them and taking them to raise arms against the government, and they carry out the insurgent one. They label themselves as the savior of the lower society. It may be true, yeah, we can say that it may be true that they are working for the sake of people. Even if you see that Naxal people rise in an area, by which support? By the support of local people only. Why local people? Because local people also are suffering from the government only. So they try to manipulate the mind of the local people. These Naxals are also from local people only. So they may be some from the belong to some family of those people. So they manipulate them, and as per that manipulation, they just raise arm against the government, and they started these things. So this is something that extreme leftist. Yes, ideology you are correct, logically you are correct, but the raising arms is not correct. So that is kind of extreme thinking. Okay, so I hope you understand that extreme right wing and extreme left wing, what you understand. Okay, and the thing is important to know, left wing is accepted, right wing is accepted, center of right wing, center of left wing, center is accepted, but the extreme kind of thinking is not accepted in the democracy setup. Okay, so I hope you understand it, that extreme left wing and extreme right. I have given lots of time to explain this situation, these definitions and all. Okay, moving ahead. So what are the exact difference between the left, center and right wing? Okay, so everything has been explained. Again, I am giving you here, as I have said, that in an overview of how exactly they are different from each other. Okay, the left wing, center wing and right wing. So left wing, reduce spending on the military. They don't want spending on the military, they want to reduce the spending on the military. They believe in complete civilian control on the armed forces. They don't believe in overhyping the national security issue. They don't expect the citizen to show their patriotism. They just want civilian control should be there. It should not be like military is there, military is controlling us. No, this kind of left wing kind of thinking is like, make it civilian control. It should not be like high patriotic. Like if you said something against the government, even in the favor of the government, like if you are tackling some point of the country by telling some word against the country, you can't say that he is anti-national. That kind of thing, like they are not expected to citizen to show the patriotism. It should be inside, and they don't believe to overhyping the nationalism. Like traveling in any way, carry the flag on your car. It means what? You are overhyping the national security. You are over showing your patriotism. We know we are Indian, by inside also you are Indian, but every time you are saying no, India is India. It is correct. It is not like, I am not saying it is something wrong, but it is overhyping on nationalism. And if someone is not carrying, like if someone forget the attaching national flag in your car, they may say that you are anti-national, you are not keeping flags in your car and all. Okay, that kind of thinking will come under the left wing. Center is something that no, first we'll say right wing. So increase spending on the military. Right wing is said we have to increase the spending on the military for the protection of the country, for the security of the country. They are thinking lots of on the priority of the government. Okay, then they give extreme priority for national security. National security is very important for them, and they try to portray a version of ultra rationalism, and they support a increase in military expenditure. and they try to project national security issues and the success of the armed forces. Further, they try to take credit for that, and they expect their citizen to show the same patriotism. So if you see current situation, then you can find these all things in the BJP government. So BJP government is like they're spending lots of in the security forces. Rafale has been bought, many forces, too much forces have been deployed in the Chinese area, Chinese border and all, and they expect, like, if someone says against the government also, they say like you are anti-national. So these kind of thinking comes under the right-wing party, and they are spending lots in the security issues and therefore the success of the armed and whatever, like one surgical strike was taken by the Indian Air Force and all. That surgical strike was done by the military forces, but the credit was taken by whom? The credit was taken by the party. The BJP was taking the credit for it. Okay, that means what? This is something right-wing party. This is something concept comes under the right-wing. Okay, so I hope you understand this. This is the main difference, so that you can understand it. Then they support change in order to improve welfare of all citizens, caring for poor, and they tries to build equitable and welfare society. They tries to make equal society. They think like there should not be any poor, there should not be any rich. The concept of left wing, like if you see something extreme leftist kind of thing, if you see something leftist and extreme leftist, they are saying that in the concept of socialism, you will come under the Karl Marx and all other socialism also. So you will come to know that if you are producing a pen of ₹10, they say sell it ₹10 in the market only. It should not be like you are selling it ₹100. If you are selling ₹100, the person who is manufacturing that, the labor who is working to produce that ₹10 of pen, they may not buy that ₹100 pen. They are saying that if you, the logic behind the socialism is that if a labor is producing a car, the price of that car must be at that one, that labor who is producing it must be able to buy that car. It is an statement, it is an logic of socialism, that see, a labor is working in a car factory and he is producing a car, and the car cost is ₹5 lakh. Okay, but that labor does not have ability to buy that car. So the socialism say that if a person is producing a substance X or car, he must be able to buy that car, and for that there must be equitable society. There should not be anything profit kind of things. If you are producing a car of ₹100, the person should also get the salary of ₹100. Like it means like equitable kind of society should be there, that a person should be able to buy that product if he is manufacturing it. That is something comes under left wing. So they support the change in order to improve the welfare of the citizen, caring for poor, and they tries to build equitable and welfare society. For the right wing, the traditions and religion is very important, and change should be treated with very cautious. They try to promote a status quo. They do not want changing of the society. They want, like, if there is a need of something to change, if there needs to something changing of rule, they say like, okay, we will see in the future. Right now, just keep it going like that. They don't want changing anything rapidly or very immediately. If they are going to change, they will change something else. They change very small part of it, because they are very resistant to change anything. Like suppose we have a rituals in Hindu mythology, like after a death of a person, there is a ceremony of 14 days or 12 days or 10 days, something like that. Okay, and if a person comes that why we are spending lots of money for 14 days celebration, 14 day ceremony and all, so we should stop it. We can convert it into 7 days or 2 days. This right wing will not ready to change this kind of things. They are resistant to change such kind of religious activity. They don't want someone to change those things which are coming from generations. These are kind of thinking of right wing. They may say, okay, we will see in the future. In future, when we will become busy, when all will change, when modern society will come, then the people will automatically change this 14 days ceremony into 2 days or 1 day ceremony. They will say that yes, in future we will change, but right now we won't change. Make it working as it is. Okay. This is something right wing. And the centrist side, they also tries to maintain balance between them, that okay, tradition is important but change is supported if most of the people wanted it. Okay, the center is something they are maintaining balance between the left wing and the right wing also. Okay, similarly in the above one also. that how much you want to spend and all. Okay, you have understanding. Then third point, that government should play a larger role in the people's lives. Social service such as education, healthcare, transportation, etc. In this left wing, it says that major role should be played by government in which sector? In the education sector, healthcare sector, transportation. That is something like social service. Most of the social services should be done by the government only. That is the thinking of left wing. Okay. In the right wing, you will say in the right wing, government should play a small role in people's life, like and most of the role should be played by the private business. Private business should be ensured needs of citizens met, and to provide for healthcare facilities, education and other basic service should be by the private society. So recently you can see that BJP government, that our current government, is selling lots of the government, that is lots of the assets in the public domain. Like even right now railway is going into the public hand. Okay, this is correct. I'm not going against the views of the government, but just I'm giving you example that how they are moving ahead, like selling to the private peoples and all. Okay, yes, government are not making such profit, so that's why they are selling to the private business. But as an example I'm giving you here, like they believe in believe minimal role should be played by the government, and the maximum role should be major role should be played by the private business party. So in the center, if you read the center, they show minimal role, that they have to take in balance between those left one and right one. So government should play a role only in that it improves the life of citizens. Like if that private business is changing the life of a citizen, we should accept it. And other areas should be open where the private companies can play a significant role also. It is saying that government can do if there is something, if there are some steps that can be taken to change the life of the people, and other areas if we need to change something into private companies, if they can play a major role, then we can also change it. That is something, center is something like that is maintaining balance between the left and the right one. Then law and order are important to protect right of citizens fairly and equally. This is the left wing says that law and order should be for all the people, and it should be equally, and more freedom of citizen to protest and less power to police during the public gatherings, and the legal system should be less strict and try to rehabilitate offenders. I think you understand what he is trying to say, that every people should be treated equally. Like currently if you see if you are filing a case against any party, any issue to High Court or Supreme Court, the poor people won't be able to handle the fees of the advocate. Okay, that is something inequality. Like if further one more example, like labor are working, migrant laborers went to that is Gujarat, and after a few months elections came in their state, in their home state, let us suppose Bihar. Okay, now from Gujarat to Bihar they can't go because their salary is not much, and if a person is working in a top countries like IT sector and all, they have more salary, so they can go and work there. So this is something what this is right to equality is not present. We are snatching their right to vote. Okay, that kind should not be there. There should be an equal kind of society. Every citizen should get fair chance for anything, for any observation, to choose their leaders and all. Okay, there should be a fair chance. And they said that less power should be given to people if there is a public gathering or protest is going on. That it means what, people should be more powerful, not the administration. That is the main aim of saying of left wing. Now what is the right wing? Here the police will have the more power. Emphasis of law and order should protect the society, and traditions are very important. The traditional one. Again here you will see, if you see current government is currently in the right wing. Whatever you will think, it will come under the right wing. Police should be great role powers in order to act against the demonstrator. If something is going against the law and order, police should be more powerful, and those who break the law should be given a severe punishment. Okay, and that center is just maintaining balance. Like law should be there, all should be treated equally, and again it will say that if someone is going against the law, punishment should be there. So same thing here, like law and order are important to encourage and protect people's right of individuals. There must be a balance between protecting society and helping offenders to get better, and if something is going on, they can also give punishment. So these are something that center is following as a balance between the left and the right one. Then the right one, the government should own in control of key resources and business, that all the key resources, if something coal is there and factories, so all should be owned by the government, not a private player should come into it. Make a very minimal role to the private corporate entities. Same thing here, same thing that private entities have said, Same thing is repeating here. In the right wing they say like pro-capitalism, the economy should be left in hands of the private business, and it means government should play a very minimal role, right, to control the price and all. Government can play, but all the exploitation should be done by the private companies because they have better equipment and all. These are the excuses given by the right wing party if they are giving to the private business player. Okay, so that is something they believe in. The right, they believe in the political party, they believe in the government one, they don't believe in the they believe in equality, and they don't believe in such much equality and all. They can give punishment if something is going against the rule, and center is something that is maintaining balance between the left and the right one. So the economy should be a mix of public government and private ownership, tries to mix capitalism and socialism. This is a model India has followed by the post-Indian. This is the model that if you see something, we have a party of right wing, we have a party of left wing, but the India which is actually following and the paper and the theory or in the public experience, that is the model of central one. That this is the model of India has followed as a post-independence. But if there is a party, like if in majority, we can see there are some characteristics they are playing of right wing. If some Congress, you will see if Congress is party, they are saying that they are working as a center one. But if you see there will be some characteristics that will reflect the right wing into their works and all. Okay, so these are the differences between left, center and right wing. So I hope you understand it better, because I have given lots of time to explain this topic, because this is something complex one. So please subscribe to the channel as a payment for me. You are just subscribing the channel. This is nothing more, nothing less. If you have any suggestions, if you want any on-demand video lectures, or if you have any instruction for me, just go to my Twitter handle. It is given in the description section. Okay, thank you.